Hello and welcome back to Doctor Who Will It Who. Today we're ranking Doctor Who title sequence logos. So we have an S, A, B and C tier, and here are the logos. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so to start off we have the first Doctor's logo, which is in black and white. This is a very classic logo, something that people remember. Out of these, there's about 3 classic logos out of these everyone remembers. Everyone obviously remembers the first one because it's the first one of Doctor Who. They try to make it very alienated but grounded at the same time, but I think they were planning just mainly alienated. It's very mysterious, it's very odd, no one expected before. It's a very good creation by the people who worked on it. But the logo in general is a little bit, not ugly, more blurry and overlaid and underexposed. Basically, in my terms, I mean, it's a little bit faded away. It doesn't look as presenting and it doesn't stand out either. All that, because it's a classic Doctor Who logo anyway, that bumps it up ranking. I gotta press it a B. Yes, people might argue, why it's not an A or an S? But it's not an S because it doesn't stand out to me. It could be an A because it's iconic, but you'll find out later on my ranking, like, altogether. But in general, I think it's a B. The second Doctor's logo is very, very good. I like that logo. It's very commanding. The black and white really works in this one compared to the other one, where it looks like the white is fading out and getting consumed by the black, except the actual words Doctor Who. They're stood out, they're all white, they're tall, so it gives it a bit of power, saying this is the logo, this is it. And I really like how it's a very professional format. It's not like a weird font, like a posh font or a bubbly font or bloody font. It's just like a normal font. It's like a big commanding font. Very professional. And that's why, in my opinion, it's going to get... Is it an A or is it an S? It's an A. And now we're on to colour television for Doctor Who. And the third Doctor's logo. It's not really good in my opinion. The emerald sticks out, but I think that actually makes it worse because it's like not always the nicest colours are the greatest colours, as you could tell by my opinion for the second Doctor's logo, which has no colour in it, but it tells you a lot about the show in that time. It does tell you a lot of show about this, where it's changing, it's becoming colour. It's becoming more childish with like the emerald. I like the spiral in the background though. I really like the spiral. That's what makes it a B tier. The spiral's nice. The emerald colour's nice. But it's just a little bit too childish for me. That's why it's not an A or an S tier. Now for one of the most unique logos of Doctor Who history. The fourth Doctor's logo. Now this one is very unique, and elements of it's been taken out for the 60th and for the Future of Doctor Who's logo with the diamond shape. I like that one very much too, but losing track. The fourth Doctor's logo is very iconic, so you can tell why Rusty Davies put that logo in, because it's a very iconic logo. I like the vortex, like you're going into the vortex, like you're getting dragged into it. And it's a very classic but It's, in my opinion, the best classic logo, and that's why it's going to be an S tier. It's very iconic, it's very nice, and it works very, very, very well. And now for the ones that I don't like that much. The 5th, 6th, and 7th. So let's start off with the 5th and 6th because they're very similar. The 5th Doctor one, it's silver and it's like who is in a box. So it could represent like the TARDIS. There's stars everywhere, so I think it's a bit nicer. I will make it... I gotta make it a B, just because the stars make it a little bit nicer, and I like that, like smaller. I mean, sometimes small is good, and with the if the stars aren't there, as you can tell with the 6th one, that I'm gonna say, it doesn't feel as good. It doesn't feel expanding like others are. Like the stars might represent like planets, and he's visiting all these planets, and it lets the universe expand a little. The 6th Doctor one, I like the purple, but it's a definite C. It's one of the worst logos in my opinion. It's just the same as the 5th, but they took the little details out to make it nicer, but it doesn't. It just makes it a bit bland, a bit empty. It does not work with the show in my opinion. I just don't like the logo at all. It's too vibrant. Well, it's not vibrant enough. Like you got the purple standing out of the darkness, which is a good good thing to do, a good sign. But in general, it's not that good. And the worst one is the 7th Doctor's one. As you can tell, I never liked the 3rd one because it was a bit childish. This one is total childish. This is pop culture at its worst with this logo. It reminds me of bulky, Terminator-esque, and I don't like that type of thing. I like watching the Terminator, but this is if Terminator was horrendous, or they made it too bulky, too sci-fi, and too childish. And that's what this logo is. Too childish, feels too American, and that's shocking because the American logo does not feel American and bulky. I'm not like taking the mick out of Americans because it's American logo, but I don't usually like American 60s, 70s logos because it's too out there, it's too much. And these logos have mainly been very simple, but it's got quite charm to it. This one, it's very bulky, it's trying too much, it's very ugly. I don't like the Who. The Doctor I can take, like the presenting of it, but it's like American Dinosaur thing. But the Who I can't. It's just so bad. You just reminds me of 80s sci-fi. It's just Who, because it reminds you like those like like glasses when you're in Antarctica, what they used to wear, the little eyes. Oh, I just can't stand it. This is why I really don't like this logo, and it's definitely going to be the worst, which is a C tier. I'm shocked how good the 8th Doctor's logo is. So, I expected this logo to be, at best, a B tier. But, looking at it, and it's so good. One thing the Americans did not mess up with in the movie, in my opinion, is the logo. The logo is so good. And it's not, and this is usually the logo they use for Big Finish and what they use for Titan Comics, but it's very different because it's not the black and white one. If it's the black and white one, it would be in the same section as the 6th and 7th Doctor, because I think it's too bland. It just doesn't stand out for the show. It's just Doctor Who. Ooh, that's just a show. But this one, I love if the blue wasn't there in the dark background, it wouldn't get really good results. The blue and the darkness fits very well. It's like a diamondy thing, like a reflective glass kind of thing, and that's what I like about it. How it's so glass, but so dark. Two dark colours with one brighter than the other makes it way better. It feels so right, but it feels so wrong, but it's got that type of charm that I can't resist and go, that's a really, really good logo. Very simple, but very effective. And that's words that I would describe this logo. It's very simple and very effective. So that's why I'm going to make it an A tier. It's just very, very good. It's like the 2nd Doctor one. Simple and effective. Simple, but effective. Now we go on to the other two very similar ones, which are the 9th and 10th. The 9th Doctor logo is going to be a B. You might go, oh my god, why have you put that as a B? It's so better than the others. Yeah, it's better than the other logos I put in B tier, but it's not as good as the David Tennant one. The reason why is I like the David Tennant one's a bit brighter, and it resembles more the regeneration, and it stands out more. That's what you want with a logo. You want a logo that makes the audience look at the logo, look at the screen, and the first thing to see is the logo, not the background, the logo itself, because you're like, that's what I'm directing my eyes to. And that's what this one kind of doesn't do. This one's like, you see the background, then you see the logo, because it's not as bright. And that's what makes it a bit off. Like, you can see the logo, oh yeah, that's Doctor Who, but then you see the vortex. And it takes you off away. Just by a slight second, it makes you go, oh. Then it goes, whoa, I'm just going to look at the logo because it looks amazing. Compared to the 10th Doctor one, which is an A tier. It's a big classic one, as everyone remembers. But the only difference between this one and the other one is it's just a bit cleaner with the brightness. It's very bright. It shows regeneration. It feels more regenerative too, and it stands out a lot more. As I say, this one's more hooks you in straight away, then hooks you in like in a second. Very good logo, and that's why I'm sticking it away. This is going to be a bit biased here, but the 11th Doctor's logo is the best logo they've done, and that's why it deserves an S tier. It's also a very clever marketing technique because of it being that. Mainly, the intro's very, very good, but that's not what stands out. What stands out is the logo itself. And not the words Doctor Who, the actual logo within the words D and W, because they merged them together and made a TARDIS with a light bulb. And that is very, very, very good for marketing strategy. That's what hooks the viewers in because they've never seen it before. Very unique to the show, and that's why in every single marketing technique for Doctor Who at that time, during 2010 to 2013, you could see like they might have a trail of Doctor Who, and then it ends with a TARDIS light, and then the DW logo, and then fades in Doctor Who, and that's what makes the marketing strategy that. It's not the golden age of Doctor Who, but it was definitely the golden age of marketing a logo for Doctor Who. Like, you could say season 3 and 4 was golden age for everything with Doctor Who, but you can't go wrong with the marketing for at least season 5 saying about the Doctor Who logo. So we've got the final 3, and we've got season 7 first. So let's look at season 7. Season 7 is it's a B. It's at the bottom near the 5th Doctor, just because it's very simple but ineffective. Like, you see it and you go, Doctor Who. But it doesn't feel as much effort. Obviously there is lots of effort in it. They changed the title sequence for the same Doctor, which I don't think they've ever done before at that time. So they did put an amount of effort, and season 7 was a very, not average season, more a very different and unique season, like season 13 is throughout the show, like the modern Who. And they made new title sequence just because it's very different companion, I think, or something like that. But it's a very bland one still. That's why it's only in B. So let's go for Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi one is an A, and I'll tell you why it's an A. Just because it's a bit better than the other logos in B. That's why it's not. That's why it's A, obviously. But even though it's a white format text, it reminds me a lot of Matt Smith's Era season 5, but it hooks me in more, and that's one of them I do remember. Just because even though it's white in a blue spatial background, it feels alienated, but right for the show. Right alienated type. You know it's Doctor Who just by that. And that's why it's an A tier, not an S tier, because of it being that it's not a very iconic one, and they didn't do very much uniqueness for that to make it stand out a bit more. That's why it's not in S tier. And the final one is Jodie Whittaker's. Jodie Whittaker's is a B. I don't like Jodie Whittaker's as much as the others, just because it's the way it's done. For example, I don't like the sticks, how they wrote the text with it being sticks instead of just normal letters, and that does put it off a little bit. Makes it more alienated, but it makes it a little bit lazy in my opinion. I love a lot this logo. I love the background, but we're not looking at the background mainly, we're looking more for the title sequence as in logos. Yes, I do like how it's like rounded and it starts off with a cloudy thing, but really it doesn't hook me in that much. As I say, I don't like the logo that much because of it being, it sticks, but I do like everything else, like the VFX. So let's see my ranking and confirm it. I'll get back to you when I'm done. Number 14, the 7th Doctor's logo. Number 13, 6th Doctor's logo. Number 12, 5th Doctor's logo. Number 11, the 3rd Doctor's logo. Number 10, 11th Doctor's Season 7 logo. Number 9, 13th Doctor's logo. Number 8, the 1st Doctor's logo. Number 7, the 9th Doctor's logo. Number 6, the 2nd Doctor's logo. Number 5, the 8th Doctor's logo. Number 4, the 12th Doctor's logo. Number 3, the 10th Doctor's logo. Number 2, the 4th Doctor's logo. And number 1, the 11th Doctor's logo. So that's all for the title sequences. I mainly ranked it for the logo than title sequences, but I think the way to make a title sequence is the way you can present a logo. So that's why some of them are higher than the others. But that is my ranking for definite. So put in the comments below what your ranking is for title sequence logos, and see if you agree, disagree. You probably disagree. And I'd love to check them out and see what you've put. So comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already to Will It Who, the channel for Doctor Who.